Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Friends are sharing their memories of a man found murdered outside his home. Police say a 13-year-old stole 2 semis and took them on a joyride around central Kentucky. It's a mission with a different kind of enemy. We'll show you how Kentucky troops are preparing to fight Ebola in West Africa. WKYT News at 5 starts now. We continue to track a breaking news alert out of Boyle County. Kentucky State Police have arrested a man for the death of a 1-year-old. 25-year-old Joseph Adams has been charged with murder. Police say Adams assaulted the little boy while caring for him at a home on Bells Lane in Junction City this morning. The toddler died at Ephraim McDowell. Police say he suffered severe trauma. Adams is being held in the Boyle County Jail. Well, his friends say they don't know why anyone would want to hurt him. Today, they are sharing their memories of a murdered man. A friend found 82-year-old Lloyd Souders dead outside his Moorhead home yesterday. WKYT's Victor Puente is tracking the investigation in Rowan County in our top story at 5.
Everyone I spoke to who knew Lloyd Souders says he would go out of his way to help people, which makes it even harder to understand why anyone would kill him. Souders' body was discovered yesterday afternoon in his driveway. State police say a friend had gone over to check on him. His neighbors say they were startled when they heard what had happened.
It was eerie to think that right behind your house, a man was murdered, in 50 feet.
Rowan County Coroner John Northcutt says the 82-year-old died from multiple sharp and blunt force injuries. The workers at the gas station, where he stopped multiple times a day, say the news of his death was like losing a family member.
I was devastated. A man that would give you his shirt right off of his back. And for someone to do something to him, it just wasn't right.
Nip says Souders had helped her and others with free mechanical work on their cars. She says whoever did this has delivered a blow to this community.
Just he was a great person, and I really hope they find out who did it, because it's not right.
The coroner tells me Souders' daughter and 2 sons live out of state. He expects they'll be here tomorrow to meet with police. In Rowan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Kentucky State Police are investigating the murder. So far, they have not named any suspects or possible motives. All right, if you are headed out to a Friday night football game, you will need to take that umbrella and a rain jacket with you. We have rain arriving in the area and is going to stick around for quite some time. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it on the First Alert Defender. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. We look outside right now, and it is nasty into most of the area. Not only are we getting rain, but those low clouds and fog really adding to the misery index on your Friday evening. Here's our live sky cam. Somewhere there in the distance is Hamburg Pavilion, and you're talking about less than a mile away from the station here. That's how low the visibilities currently are, thanks to that big shield of rain that is working into town for our Friday evening. So areas that may be catching a little bit of a dry break right now, hey, the dry breaks are numbered here in minutes in many cases. Even outside of the steadier rains, we've been noticing a little mist that has been flying by. And look at the heavy bursts of showers on the south side of Lexington and then back into northern Woodford County, another little batch into northern parts of Scott County. Showers and thunderstorms, very heavy rain right along the Kentucky-Tennessee border county. So our friends down into Wayne County, Whitley County, into McCreary County, we're going to be dealing with some of the heavier showers and storms over the next couple of hours. There's another batch of some moderate rains right on top of Bowling Green. Moral of the story is that's all going to be working its way on through the area for the evening. Maybe even a rare clap of thunder, but overall, ladies, it is a very damp and a chilly Friday evening.
Chris, thank you. Someone stole 2 semis in central Kentucky, and the suspect might surprise you. Police say a 13-year-old is responsible for thefts in Clark and Madison counties. WKYT's Mark Barber shows us how he finally got caught.
Tractor-trailer drivers tell me it can be difficult to control 18-wheelers, even for people who have been driving them for years. So they say it's remarkable no one was hurt. Kentucky State Police say the 13-year-old boy stole 2 tractor-trailers last night. The Clark County Sheriff says the teen stole the first truck, a semi hauling grain, at a truck stop on exit 94 on I-64 yesterday afternoon. Madison County deputies tell us he abandoned that 18-wheeler on I-75 northbound near mile marker 97 around 8 o'clock last night. Investigators believe the teen then walked 2 miles to exit 95 and stole a tanker truck carrying oil. Police say they caught up to the 13-year-old around 10 o'clock that night when they noticed an 18-wheeler without taillights swerving on I-64 near Winchester. We're told the teen was able to steal both semis because the keys were left in the cab. State police tell us the boy's father filed a missing report on the teen in Winchester when he didn't come home after school yesterday. KSP believe the boy took the tractor trailers out for a joyride. Investigators tell us the teen told them he learned to drive 18-wheelers just by paying attention. The Clark County Sheriff says before they pulled the teen over, he was driving erratically, swerving from one side of the road to the other.
I just couldn't believe that a child would be in a big truck like that and not tear out no more than he did.
The teen is being held in the Fayette County Detention Center. In Madison County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
The teen is charged with receiving stolen property. State police say this isn't the first time he's stolen trucks in the area. Family and friends said goodbye to the victim of a deadly home invasion. 2 men broke into Darnell Bates' home on Addy Alley last Sunday and shot him. His funeral was this afternoon in Lexington. He leaves behind 2 children. So far, no arrests have been made in the case. A Dallas sheriff's deputy says he feels lucky to be alive following an Ebola scare. He entered an apartment where Thomas Duncan lived. Duncan, who had the first case of Ebola diagnosed in the U.S., died from the illness this week. As Omar Villafranca tells us, the deputy became ill but tested negative for Ebola.
Dallas Sheriff's Deputy Michael Monig spoke to reporters the day after testing negative for Ebola.
I'm happy I'm here and I'm safe. Again, my family's safe. And it's a new day.
Monig was rushed to the hospital Wednesday after complaining of flu-like symptoms. He was among a group of deputies who entered the Dallas apartment where Ebola patient Thomas Duncan had stayed before he was put into isolation and died this week.
I was scared, and they tell me my temperature is 101.7 because I knew 101.5 is the point where they talk about that being a key point for Ebola. And I saw the 2 nurses look at each other with wide eyes. I wondered if my ticket had been punched.
Doctors say it turns out Monig just had a viral infection that quickly ran its course. As for Duncan, health officials confirmed this morning that his body has been cremated to prevent Ebola from possibly spreading further. Duncan's family sent 1,400 pages of medical records to the Associated Press. Those records reveal Duncan's temperature spiked to 103 degrees when he was initially sent home from the emergency room here at Texas Health Presbyterian. Duncan, who was from the Ebola hotbed of Liberia, had direct or indirect contact with nearly 50 people in Dallas. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Dallas.
Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas released a statement saying it is still evaluating how the hospital handled Duncan's case and that it has changed the way that potential Ebola patients will be screened. Soldiers from Fort Campbell are preparing for their mission to West Africa. The 101st Airborne will deploy 1,800 troops to Liberia by the end of the month. Doctors have been training the troops on safety procedures to avoid exposure to Ebola.
As anytime you send 3,000 guys and girls in the U.S. Army into a country that is ridden with Ebola, there's a chance that U.S. soldiers could get infected with it. But like I said, I think we've been prepared pretty well with our medical training to deal with it.
Just today, the death toll from the Ebola outbreak passed 4,000. Most of the victims died in West Africa. U.S. warplanes carried out 6 more airstrikes today in Syria. The goal is to prevent ISIS from taking control of a town on the border with Turkey. It appears they have control of about 40%. Even if the mission succeeds, U.S. officials say it will still be a long time before the group is completely defeated.
It is one town, and there will be others where there will be conflicts with ISIL over the course of these next months.
The U.S. is working with Turkey to get their help in fighting ISIS. An elementary school playground has become the target of vandals. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Lincoln County. The principal of Stanford Elementary says the damage includes profanity etched into equipment, ripped up padding, and damaged swings. The Advocate Messenger reports police have increased patrols in the area. The city pays for part of the playground so the public can use it when class isn't in session. A jury convicts a Boone County man of murdering a coworker. Last night, jurors found David Dooley guilty of killing Michelle Mockbee at Thermo Fisher Scientific in 2012. This morning, they recommended he spend life in prison. A judge will formally sentence Dooley next month. A McCreary County firefighter will be recognized nationally this weekend. Whitley City Fire Lieutenant Arlie Hill is among the 107 fallen firefighters who will be honored during the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Service tomorrow in Maryland. Hill died last October from injuries he suffered when he rushed into a burning home.
The U.S. Postal Service needs extra help handling the mail this holiday season. The agency plans to hire 50 seasonal workers for the Lexington Processing and Distribution Facility on Nandino Boulevard. They need people to load, unload, and move mail, as well as mail processing clerks. If you are interested, you need to apply online by October 14th. Police continue their search for a man accused of killing a state trooper. We have an update on the progress.
And doctors are preparing for a busy winter in emergency rooms. The reason they expect to see more patients coming up in Better Living.
And police need your help finding a missing woman. Why those who know her are concerned about her safety. That's on WKYT News at 5:30.